Everyone, welcome to the Running with Heart podcast. It's another week. I'm Andrew Neville, and I am currently on mission 231, heading towards the Sonda Monster in 2022, May 2022. And I'm doing it all in support of the Heart Foundation of Australia. And the exciting news this week is it's official. I have an entry in the Sonda Monster for May 2022 next year, if I get that out right. Entries opened on the 1st of October, so yesterday. Today is Saturday. They opened just after midnight yesterday, and I made sure that I got one of the early bird entries, to ensure I didn't miss out. And it's very exciting to have that entry, and it's made it a bit more real. I actually found yesterday, I was expecting after getting the entry that I'd have that feeling of, the nerves sort of would hit it or go to a new level for a little while, or you have that, question inside the head, oh, what have I done? This is actually happening, which I didn't have, which is really good. I had a real sort of peace of mind, or just that feeling of peace over the whole body, because I know what I'm doing is on the right track, and it's a big ask in front of me. We've spoken about that. We know about that 231 kilometres, the entire Larapinta Trail in the Northern Territory, Australia. But it's something I'm training for, preparing for, and I'm doing it running with heart all the way, all for the Heart Foundation, every kilometre. And so really looking forward to it now, and really excited it's official. And I've got that e-ticket for that entry into the event next May. So what we are going to do over the next 5 weeks, the New York Marathon celebrates its 50th anniversary next month, 7th of November. It missed last year because of the COVID situation. They ran it virtually only, but 50th anniversary. And as most people know, especially those closest to me, the New York Marathon holds a dear spot in my heart, because I was fortunate enough to run it back in 2013. And it's my first big official event running for the Heart Foundation. And during that mission Running with Heart, I think it was called from memory. I'm trying to think what it was. The Marathon Mission. The Marathon Mission was the title of it. Over 12 months, we raised over $13,000 for the Heart Foundation through that New York Marathon experience. So what I'm going to do during that 12 months of preparing, or just over 12 months of preparing for New York back in 2013, I kept, as I do with most of my running, a running journal. And titled it Running with Heart, because, as I said, it was my first major event for the Heart Foundation. And so over the next 5 weeks, I'm going to share those journal entries leading into the New York Marathon, and then I'm going to share what I wrote about the New York Marathon. And I spent pages and pages, and probably hours, to be honest, hours and hours actually living the marathon through my journaling, from the start on Staten Island, or even before then, the trip to Staten Island, to the start and the starting corrals, and then running through each of the boroughs, and then finishing in Central Park, New York. So we'll climax with that as we get closer to the running, the 50th anniversary running of the New York Marathon on the first weekend in November. So over the next 5 podcasts, I'm going to share parts of my journal leading into that. And then we'll also look back, obviously, at the week that has been in my training and fundraising, and what I've been up to and how it's going. So we're going to get straight into the New York Marathon journal. So this first journal entry is from the 2nd of August 2012. So nothing is official yet, nothing's happening. I haven't even applied. And this is a couple of weeks before Sydney Surf. My running board, a gift from Monique, hangs on the side of our linen cupboard in the entry foyer of our house. If you study it, you will notice in the middle there is a small sheet of paper that lists my running goals, both short and long term. Listed amongst the goals and to be achieved by November 2013 is to complete the New York Marathon. It's been on my goal list for a few years now. Actually, I got real close once when I was accepted by the Heart Foundation to run on their team, but somehow, and I still don't know why, the whole team fell through before I could book my spot. It's the only year it happened. Obviously, in God's plan, the timing wasn't right. Anyway, it's a goal of mine, and I want to run it for the Heart Foundation and for everyone affected by heart disease. I'm a week and a half away from running my first event for the Heart Foundation, the Sitters Surf, in which I'm in the process of raising $1,000. Anyway, on Friday the 27th of July, I received a Sitters Surf Heart Foundation email update, and on the bottom was an invitation to request information on running New York for the Heart Foundation. So I replied to the email requesting the information. 27th of July 2012, this could be the date the journey begins, though it did begin at the 11-kilometre mark in the 2008 Sitters Surf. The info pack was received on the 30th of July 2012, and I didn't get to look at it until today, which is the 2nd of August. Yesterday, so this is the 1st of August, my Heart Foundation singlet arrived from Sitters Surf. It looks great. I'm so excited and privileged to be able to run for the Heart Foundation. Thursday, the 9th of August 2012. I'm thrilled today that I've reached my target of $1,000 for the Heart Foundation for Sitters Surf on Sunday. Having reached my target, I'm now really excited about Sunday. I feel that I'm ready to take my place in the Gold Charity Start Group. If I hadn't reached my target of $1,000 before Sunday, I would have felt guilty starting in the group on Sunday. Also a nice surprise is that Monique has been invited to join me in the Heart Foundation marquee following the race on Sunday. Sunday, the 12th of August 2012. Second Sunday in August, the famous Sitters Surf Day. And I've titled it My Perfect Race. After years of training, after years of trying, and today I finally became a sub-60 runner in the Sitters Surf. My time, 59:06, and I was so excited as I crossed the finish line, feeling a great sense of achievement, a dream come true. For me, I ran the perfect race. Well, maybe I didn't run it. Perhaps I should say I was presented with the perfect race from God. All I did was put one foot in front of the other and follow the path he provided. Let's review the race. Monique and myself enjoyed a short walk from the hotel to Hyde Park. It was overcast and very windy. I was really feeling the cold, at times shivering. Had shorts on and a jumper over the singlet. After dropping off the bag to be taken to Bondi Beach and the toilet, I farewelled Monique and entered the Gold Charity Start Group, probably just a bit before 7:30. And just over 30 minutes before the start time. There were quite a few in there casually standing around chatting, so I easily made my way to the front and took my place, in the middle of the second row. I was thrilled with the position, a dream come true to be right at the front of the pack. I enjoyed watching the elite warm up and I got to watch, for the very first time, the start of the Sitters Surf. I spent the 10 minutes before the gun jogging on the spot and stretching. I felt confident and ready. To run a sub-60, I had to run at 4:15 minute per kilometre pace over the 14 kilometres. With the red group in front of me, I was going to struggle to run the perfect lines and therefore the shortest route. Potentially, I could run an extra kilometre with all the dodging of people. So I set my Garmin to 4 minutes per kilometre pace to ensure it still kept me sub-60. Minutes after the red group had left, the second gun was fired and my group was away. I led the group around the corner and was surprised and thrilled to see an open road in front of us, heading down William Street, something I've never experienced before. What a difference starting at the front of a pack makes. Before the race, I'd been battling over the best way to run the race, to finally beat the 60-minute time that had been eluding me. Go hard from the start and see how I last, or to evenly pace myself over the 14 kilometres. The open road of William Street and the opportunity to dictate my own pace for the first time at the start of a Sitters Surf was too good an opportunity to pass up. So I went out aggressively, but not overdoing it. I had the freedom of running for nearly the first 2 kilometres, catching up to the back of the red group on the other side of the King's Cross Tunnel. But even with a crowd of people around me, my pace and rhythm didn't get affected. Actually, the strangest thing happened. It's hard to put into words, but I'll try. When I explained to Monique afterwards, it sounded like an out-of-body experience, and looking back at it, it probably was. It was amazing. With a crowd of people now around me, my line running didn't change. I was running the perfect lines because I could see over everyone. It wasn't because I was on higher ground or taller than them. It was like I had extended my neck so I could see over and above everyone. At one point, I could see a few bends in front of me, over the top of everyone, and see the perfect lines I had to run. God then opened up the perfect gaps on these lines in the crowd of people for me to run the direct route. It was an amazing feeling. I knew this was going to be my day. As I hit Heartbreak Hill, the gaps continued opening up for me through the crowds just at the right time, and the line running continued. At the top of Heartbreak, I knew I was in a great position to finally beat 60 minutes, but I also knew I'd been here before and seen it snatched away. I continued running strong and felt really comfortable. I was thrilled when I came around a bend and saw 6 kids standing straight ahead of me on the next bend, wanting high fives. This was the same bend last year where I had gone out of my way to give a lonely boy a high five. To see 6 kids now there was a huge thrill. Like last year, they were being ignored by the other runners because they were so far out of the way. So I headed across to them and received smiles in return for the high fives. As I hit the 11-kilometre mark, I checked my Garmin and I knew I'd never been in a better position to get a sub-60 time. I had 12 minutes 45 seconds available for the last 3 kilometres, of which nearly 2 kilometres were downhill running. I pushed on, wanting to make the most of the downhill pace so I didn't risk seeing my goal taken from me in the final kilometre on the final straight of Campbell Parade at Bondi. Coming around the bend that leads into Campbell Parade, I saw more kids on the far left. I crossed over the road to give them high fives. They were waiting and were thrilled by the excited faces. Felt so good and so free running onto Campbell Parade with my time set for below the 60-minute mark. A real enjoyable experience after so many years of being at this same part of the race, chasing the clock. As I did with the Gold Coast Marathon, today I dedicated each kilometre to someone known either to me or to someone known by someone else who had had their life affected by heart disease. After all, today's Sit to Surf run was about the Heart Foundation and not me. The last kilometre was dedicated to Nana and Monique. They share a special friendship, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Monique's love and support. Nana had a battle with heart disease a few years ago where we nearly lost her, but miraculously and inspirationally she fought on. So the last kilometre belonged to them, and it was with great pride I crossed the finish line and looked up to see 59.03. An amazing feeling of accomplishment to raise just under $1,100 for the Heart Foundation and achieve a sub 60-minute time as well. Adding to the moment was to spot the Heart Foundation mascot from the Heart Foundation waiting behind the finish line. I grabbed a photo with it before heading to the Heart Foundation marquee, where they were putting on lunch, drinks and massages for Monique and myself and the other Heart Foundation Gold charity runners. And that photo, just to pause from the reading there, that photo that I had, I think Happy is his name, the Heart Foundation Heart mascot. That photo is the one you see a lot in a lot of my socials and a lot of the press releases I do. Still use that photo today of me finishing Sit to Surf and having the photo with Happy the Heart. Pretty sure it's Happy. Relaxed while waiting for Monique, who was inspiring me with texts on her efforts in running the Sit to Surf race with very little running training and numerous injuries going into the race. On her finish, we enjoyed lunch at the marquee, heart friendly of course, and were given some small gifts from the Heart Foundation to show their appreciation at my fundraising efforts. It was an honour to run for the Heart Foundation today, and I hope one day soon I get to raise further money for them by perhaps running the New York Marathon. Wednesday, the 23rd of August 2012. I received a phone call today from the Heart Foundation as a follow-up from the Sit to Surf. Sarah was getting feedback on the day as a Gold charity runner. I said how it was a huge honour to be given the opportunity to run for the Heart Foundation, and I would do it again without a second thought. Before the conversation ended, I asked her if all the spots had been filled for the 2013 New York Marathon. Although her response was immediate, it felt like an eternity. I was pleased to hear there were still spots, but she expected to fill them within the next month. Sarah then offered me an amazing opportunity. If I was to run New York, she would give me a Gold charity spot in next year's Sit to Surf. Wow, that gives me something to think about. Thursday, the 5th of September 2012. The weeks since I spoke to Sarah from the Heart Foundation and thought about the New York Marathon have flown by with busyness. Every now and again, I pick up the info pack and I have a quick glance of it, but nothing more. I keep praying to God, asking for his direction, patiently awaiting a response. When I seriously think about it, the one thing that puts me off is, what if I can't raise the funds? And that's when I hear God's voice asking for trust. And he also reminds me of a quote from the Wild at Heart CD I've been listening to, the John Eldridge series, and that sticks in my head. The other issue is Monique and the kids. I would want them there for such an occasion. Again, I hear God's voice. That's not your worry, Andrew. In other words, leave it to me perhaps. Trust me. I received an email from the Heart Foundation asking whether I've given New York any more thought. Friday, the 24th of August 2012. A card arrived today in the mail from my cousin. It included a cheque for $1,200 from my late Auntie Gwen's estate. I would like to do something special with the money in memory of her. I believe she suffered a heart attack, so did her late husband, Bob. Perhaps some of the money could pay for the New York Marathon deposit. It could be the funds to kickstart the journey and make a difference to many thousands of people's lives affected by heart disease. A legacy, in a way, I guess, from Auntie Gwen. Auntie Gwen also liked to travel, so it would be fitting, too, in a way, that she would help kickstart a journey to New York. Tuesday, the 11th of September, 2012. I've had the application form filled out for a couple of days now, but I've not brought myself to send it. I'm hearing the same voices, but questioning whether I'm hearing correctly. Why the doubt? Where's my faith? Wednesday, the 12th of September, I woke up this morning with a text of the Bible in my head. It was with faith that Abraham. That's all I can remember, obviously, because that's what I've written. With faith, Abraham. Surely that's God's talking. I then did my devotional for the day, which again spoke to me about the New York situation. It was about courage. I came home from work at lunch and I sent the application. It was time to step out in faith and take the courage God offers. The journey needed a first step, and I took it. After lunch, I received a phone call from the Heart Foundation, thrilled to receive my application. She said it looked great and all the fundraising activities were Heart Foundation friendly. The application had to be shown to the fundraising director, and with their approval, I should hear something tomorrow. I'm a little bit excited. And that same process I went through, just again to give a break from the reading, that same process I went through that's a month. A month I've been sitting on finding the courage and the faith to step out of my comfort zone, I guess, to step out in faith with God, to make that step in applying to go to New York back in 2012. That's the same thing I've gone through previously this year with the Sonder Monster, where, as I spoke about last week, I was so close to retiring from ultra running, as my voices in my head, the anxiety, I guess, was talking. And it took a lot of prayer and a lot of listening, patience, but it all comes back to having faith and trust in the journey God's leading me on and stepping out of my comfort zone with that faith and trust. And that has led me to signing up to the Sonder Monster this week. 9 years on, that would be, from when I applied for the marathon for New York. Wow. Thursday, the 13th of September 2012. The phone call I've been waiting for. Sarah rang this afternoon to inform me my application was successful. When she said, "I've got your application back from the director," and then paused, my heart sank. When she continued with, "It's been approved, you're going to New York," I couldn't believe it. A long journey, in fact. But every journey begins with a single step. And now we've taken a couple. 14 months to go. Friday, the 14th of September 2012. Today is day one of Operation Big Apple, where I start to think and find ways to save enough money to get Monique, Dalton, Winston and Tabitha to New York with me. It commenced with putting $25 into a box. The day started with spiritual warfare. Satan hit hard with doubt and attempts at sabotaging my faith. I kept hearing thoughts. You're kidding yourself about New York. Look at the bills you've got to pay. A strong prayer, and soon I was feeling good in God's protection, excited about the thought of us being in New York. I stood in front of the New York screen at the gym and let myself dream of us all standing there under the Statue of Liberty, admiring it for real. I'm looking forward to the journey ahead, the challenges that are included. Monday, the 17th of September 2012. Tuesday, the 18th of September 2012. By this morning, I still haven't sent the initial deposit form to Travelling Fit with the $500 deposit. I'm not sure why. I think it's because We've had some hiccups with the car lately, and I question whether we should hang on to the money in case it's needed. But again, I keep hearing God's voice reciting the text from the Bible. It was with faith Abraham set out. Late tonight, I finally faxed the form. Yes, fax, not email, fax. 9 years ago, we were still using faxes. Thursday, the 20th of September, 2012. I've just paid the deposit. I've never got this far through the process. It's exciting and daunting. It's a step of faith. Now I need to write a media release to give to the Heart Foundation, which they'll provide to the local paper. I've got a copy of the media release there, which I won't go through now. Thursday, the 4th of October, 2012. Today I finally got that media release typed and sent to the Heart Foundation. I attached with it the photo of the Heart mascot and myself after Sid's surf. I received my first donation today to my fundraising page, a $30 donation, who I assume is someone with the Heart Foundation or running New York. His accompanying message read, "To get the ball rolling, see you in New York City." It was very exciting to read that, in New York City. 13 months to the marathon as of yesterday. Saturday the 13th of October 2012. Today my media release was in the Lithgow Mercury. I was pleased with the article and it has made the whole thing so real. The first bit of nervousness set in. Saturday the 20th of October 2012. It's been a week since the media release appeared in the Lithgow Mercury, and it's amazing the number of people that saw it. Everyone is excited for the family and myself, and there have been so many offers of support and help with fundraising activities. I now get stopped on runs to have a chat about the New York Marathon, and even people I haven't spoken to since leaving the bank in 2004 are coming up to me and asking about the trip. It's providing the opportunities I was hoping for to being able to talk to people about the Heart Foundation cause and heart disease. Sunday, the 21st of October 2012. I've decided in preparation for the New York Marathon next November, I want to get another marathon under my belt before then, to ensure that I'm fully prepared to the best of my abilities to complete the tough New York course. I've chosen Orange's inaugural marathon in February as my next marathon. It's well positioned in the calendar, 8.5 months out from New York. It gives me the opportunity of a good 6 weeks recovery after it, before I again start building up the kilometres in preparation for the New York Marathon. My training program for it begins tomorrow, day 1. I know it's going to be tough because I'm going to be doing all the long kilometres in the summer heat. I'm looking forward to the challenge. It will make things easier when I look ahead with my eyes on the bigger picture, the New York Marathon and the Heart Foundation. Friday the 26th of October 2012. Today I submitted a letter to the Portland RSL following a suggestion from a mate requesting sponsorship and donation for the Heart Foundation. Sunday the 28th of October 2012. My first week hasn't gone well. I've only got the runs in. No weights, TRX, core or stretching. I've been busy at work. My second biggest week ever. This is what I need to get used to juggling over the next 12 months. My 12-kilometre run today was really tough. It felt heavy from the outset and I struggled for any sort of rhythm and fluency. After 6 kilometres, I was relieved I wasn't running a marathon because there's no way my body would have gotten to the finish line. I felt tired throughout the run. In the end, I'm pleased I got the 12 kilometres and under the goal of 60 minutes. That's 30 kilometres for the week. I'm on target. Monday the 29th of October 2012. Hurricane Sandy is approaching New York. Monique was on the New York Marathon website checking out the latest news on the hurricane and seeing how it's affecting the 2012 marathon due to be run on Sunday. While on there, she checked out all the details of the marathon. Some of the details are a little bit daunting and my level of nervousness has increased. Even though we're still 12 months away from the race day, I'm still getting nervous now. 2 million people line the streets to watch the marathon. 2 million people. When we arrive on Staten Island, after being driven there from the start, there are numerous start villages depending on your coloured start. You're not allowed to take your own bag onto the island as it's federal land. You must use a supplied clear bag. Anything else and its contents gone. You may be in your start village for a few hours depending on your start time. From what I can figure looking at this year's groups, I won't start before 10:05 a.m. When it's time to run, you get moved into the starting corrals. The different starting groups have their own course for the first 8 miles. I don't even know what that is in kilometres yet. I need to learn that. With so many people at the end, how will I meet up with Monique and the kids? So much to think about. It's probably good it's 12 months away. Saturday, the 3rd of November 2012. Today it marks 365 days until the 2013 New York Marathon. My fundraising tally sits at $55. New York is in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy, one of the worst storms ever to hit the United States. Over 100 people have lost their lives. I was shocked today to read on the internet that they've cancelled the marathon, the first time ever it's been cancelled, and it's been run since 1970. I understand the reasons behind it being cancelled, but I do feel for the 41,000 runners who had arrived in New York City. I especially feel for this year's Heart Foundation runners. It would be devastating to do all the fundraising, all the training, and then to miss out on running it. But at the end of the day, lives have been lost, homes destroyed, people without electricity and food, and this is all in the suburbs which the marathon runs through. There's no way they could have held it. And that's where we'll leave the running journal, the Running with Heart journal from the New York Marathon period. Hope you enjoyed that little insight. And as I said, over the next 5 weeks, we're going to continue reading through that, and we'll climax with the actual race breakdown, which I've never shared with anyone since doing New York. It's been there sitting in writing, and hope to one day have it typed into a book perhaps. But yeah, so I look forward to sharing that with you over the coming weeks. Back to now, the present, 2021, the final week of September. Can you believe it, as we enter into October, today being the 2nd. So on Monday, I did my first, we'll call it my first official block of mental strength training. I've been reading the Mental Strength Ultra Training book that I talked about in a podcast a few weeks ago, given to me by my family for Father's Day. And I read the first few chapters, but I hadn't done any of the actual exercises yet, the task. So made myself sit down on Monday night and do my first lot of exercises. And that was going through my values and finding my reason behind running, the why behind my running. And as you all know, that's running with heart, running for the Heart Foundation, and making the opportunity to make a difference for people's lives. And having that why, it gives you something to aim for when you're out there and you're struggling in the pain cave and, you know, it's all doom and gloom. If you've got something you can focus on, a reason that you want to get to the finish line, something strong, something that really means a lot to you, it makes it a bit better, or a lot better, I'm going to suggest. So I'm lucky I've got such a strong why behind my cause for the Heart Foundation. But that was really good doing that. And I'm hoping to get another one done over this weekend as well, so I can keep moving through that book, because the mental side of it is a really big side of it. Physically, yes, I've got a lot more training to do, but physically, I think I know I can do it. But it's the mind always goes before the body. It's the voices, the doubt that you hear in the mind that you've got to conquer to keep yourself going and to keep going right through to the end, through those tough times. Still on the balance board for my rehab for the ankle and just in my general training. So I spend 10 minutes on that 3 times a week at the moment. Just going through the different motions and rolling the ankle around, or the board around, and getting the ankle moving in different positions. The ankle's still sore, not as bad, it keeps improving, but I'm still continuing to run on it and use it. So it's going to be a slow process getting back to full strength, but it's definitely come a long way in the last 4 weeks. And that the balance board work I'm doing is really helping. I've done resistance training twice this week. Once, and I'm down to do it again tonight. So I'll say yes, twice. Got a core session that I do tonight, but yeah, resistance training, targeting the running muscles, the arms, the shoulders, the back, and my legs, doing them. Brought deadlifts back into my program this week. Hadn't done them for probably at least 6 months, so deadlifts are back in for this current phase. So enjoying doing them. They're great for the hamstrings and the quads and the glutes and the lower back. They really target everything, and give confidence with the strength and legs as well, I find. Running wise, Tuesday saw a recovery run following the weekend and the rest day on Monday. And so I covered just under 9 kilometres in the 60 minutes for that. And that was on the trails and finished with some strides. 6 lots of 20-second strides as well. 2 weeks in a row for the strides, so really happy with that after not doing them for a long time. And then backed that up on the Wednesday with my tempo intervals on the trails and some new trails over on the east side of Portland, and covered 14 kilometres in that 90-minute run with the tempo intervals. And they were probably I've done tempo runs before, so tempo runs usually you run around 15 seconds slower than your goal race pace. At the moment, for what I'm training for, the trail running, I'm aiming to work an intensity of 8 out of 10 for those tempo intervals. Now, usually my marathon training, I will do a tempo run where I might run, as I said, at 15 seconds outside goal pace for 5Ks and build that up by a K each time, up to maybe 10, 12Ks. But this one I was doing 12-minute intervals. So different way of doing it for me, and 4 lots of them. So that was really good to try and maintain that pace. I was trying to do it on inclines too. I follow Dylan Bowman and the Pillars team, and he suggested, more benefit from the tempo intervals, doing it on the incline, making the legs stronger. So I've been following that this week. And then on Thursday, I backed the tempo interval session up the day before with an endurance run of 90 minutes around the streets of Portland, back on the roads, and got hit with a thunderstorm at the end of it in the last 5 minutes. Hail, rain, heavy rain, got drenched in a couple of minutes, and some lightning and thunder rolling around. So that made it exciting. And I thought I was going to dodge it and get home in time, and just missed out. So always makes it exciting. And then yesterday on the Friday, had a 60-minute recovery session, which I got to enjoy a bushwalk with my beautiful wife through the bush and enjoying the greenery that's out at the moment, the water. Look, the creek is flowing down there in the Portland Common, and the birds and the kangaroos that are lying around as well. And then today, been out doing tempo intervals again. It's the first time in a long time I've had 2 tempo sessions in the 1 week. And so I was really excited for that, and sort of put it off most of the day. The body's tired. It's always tired after a week of work and personal training. And it is draining at the moment mentally and physically with the whole COVID situation, and trying to make the right decisions for the business, but also the clients of the business, looking after everyone's health, looking after everyone's safety with COVID. And so being online at the moment for the majority of the business, doing personal training in person, the mind's not switching off. And so, by the end of the week, I am tired, both mentally and physically. So took a bit of time today. I was lying around just enjoying a relaxing day, but got myself out there this afternoon and really enjoyed it. Watched the storm clouds build around me, but no rain came down. And really pleased with my tempo efforts today. Aiming for consistency with the tempo intervals. And today, my 4 intervals were within 100 metres of each other. They were timed intervals. And all within 100 metres of the distance achieved on each one. So really happy with that. Tomorrow, I'm down for a 3-hour run. So be my longest run since doing my ankle, I believe. So I'll hit the trails for that around Portland. And I'm excited for that. Really enjoying my running at the moment. And again, knowing you've got the entry to Sonder Monster really gives that boost and the excitement. And you just know everything you're doing is going towards it. It's going towards the cause. It's going towards the Heart Foundation. And so it really does make training a lot easier when you've got that reason behind you and that goal you're heading towards. So looking forward to that tomorrow. Stretching's a big part of my training too at the moment. I'm doing a lot of lower body stretching a couple of times, or probably a few times a week, to be honest, three to 4 times a week. And then I enjoy the stretch and abs class that I run with Ant Fitness on the Friday night. And then I'll do another stretching and visualization session tonight, where spend some time stretching through the whole body, and then spend some time lying there, eyes closed, with some music on, usually Bruce, and visualizing running the Lara Pinta. I'll visualize the tough times out there and overcoming them, and I'll also visualize feeling strong, running strong. And so that helps with the mental training as well come race day, or race days, since it's over 60 hours. So that is where the training is up to. The fundraising is sitting not far from the $3,000 mark. So going to start really pushing some fundraising activities. We've got to get that fundraising climbing. So we head towards the $23,000 goal for the Heart Foundation. We're going to be releasing shortly the Heart Foundation Kilometer dedications. So this is the opportunity to purchase a kilometer in the event next year. There's going to be 231 available, I believe, is the way I'm going to do it. You get to purchase a kilometer and dedicate it to a loved one. And you'll receive a certificate saying you've dedicated that kilometer to the person you have. Now, it doesn't have to be a person affected by heart disease. It can be someone you love. It's all about the heart. And so you can pick anyone, donate the money for that kilometer. And when I run that kilometer in the event, I'll run it for the person you have dedicated it to and yourself, saying a prayer for you and their life. And yeah, it's a way I do my I made kilometer dedications with the big events I do for the Heart Foundation, and it's really special to do each kilometer for someone. So keep an eye out for that on the socials. We'll be looking at releasing that shortly so we can start selling them over the next 30, I think we're down to 34 weeks. It was 231 days to the start of the race yesterday. So as of today, right now, the 2nd of October, 238 days to go. It doesn't seem long at all. That is the week that has been in my training. Looking forward to the week ahead as we continue to build on the training. Continue rehabbing that ankle, making sure it's right. Hoping for a big week of training this week, and then I'll have my second vaccine next week for COVID. And then that following week is a quieter week. With this current program or current phase I'm doing, looking at 3 to 4 weeks of building the training and then taking a quiet week off for recovery, just to help the body a bit more, and then building it up again and following that pattern probably right through to Christmas is my plan at this point. But I'll keep you in touch with those plans and the changes as they happen. Every training program has to be flexible and adjustable, because injuries happen, life happens, and you have to be able to allow for that in the training. Everyone, thank you for the ongoing support. Please, if you haven't yet, you'd like to join the walking challenge, the 231 walking challenge. I've got the details below in the show notes. Click on the link and you can donate your money to the Heart Foundation for its entry, and we can get you walking at least 3 times a week for at least 23 minutes and 10 seconds. But the details are below, and the skipping challenge is still happening as well, with all money going to the Heart Foundation. Everyone, have a fantastic week ahead, and don't forget, whatever you do, make sure you always do it running with heart.